Om Sang Saraswati Namaha Namaste. Tonight we're going to discuss the Nava Patrika Puja, the 9 containers, and they're special containers of divinity. And we're going to establish these containers and fill them full of divine spirit. So let's read the Sanskrit. We're on page 128. Om Durgi Samagachaha Sanidya Miya Kalpaka Rambarupena Sarvatra Santin Kuru Namostude Om Rambadishtatri Brahmanyai Namaha Mahishashura Yudeshu Kachvi Bhutasi Busurate Mama Chanu Gratartaka Agatagi Haraprike Om Kachiyadishtatri Kalikaya Ki Namaha Harite Borate Devi Umarupasi Subrate Mama Beganavi Nashaya Nimprasida Twangaraprike Om Haradri Trastadi Datri Durgaya Ki Namaha Nishumba Sumba Matane Sendri Devagane Saka Jayanti Puja Kasits Twat Kasmakwam Borada Baba Om Jayanti Adishtatri Komari Ki Namaha Mahadeva Priyakaro Vasudeva Priyasada Uma Priti Karo Riksho Vilva Patra Rupa Nabostate Om Vyadishtatri Shivaya Ki Namaha Dari mitwa purakute ratabi jasya shamuke umakarjam kritang yasmatas matwang rakshamang sada om darid miyadishtatri raktadantikaya ki namaha Haraprita Ikaro Riksho Dyakshoka Shoka Nasanam Durga Priti Karo Yasmana Mama Shokang Sadakaru Om Ashoka Dishtatri Shokarakitaya Ki Namaha Yasya Patreva Sedevi Mana Briksha Sachi Prika Mama Chanu Gratartaka Pujangri Hwa Prasidame Om Manadishtatri Chamundai Namaha Jagata Prana Rakshatam Brahmanam Nirmitam Para Uma Priti Karang Danyam Tasmatvam Rakshamang Sada Om Danyadishtatri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Now these 9 containers I usually establish on this side in the back row as 9 flowers. So when you look at the map on our website of the map of the Cosmic Puja, you'll see the back row on the right side has 9 flowers, and these are our 9 containers of divinity. Let's describe them. Om, O Goddess Durga, come here and reside in my thoughts in the form of beauty, everywhere make peace. I bow to you. Thus is sung a hymn to beauty. I bow to the creative energy. In the battle with the great ego, you shined upon all existence, O one of excellent vows, Surate. For the purpose of my advancement, come, O beloved of Vishnu. Thus is sung a hymn to the Shining One. I bow to she who is beyond time. O goddess covered in turmeric, in the form of Uma, you give boons. O one of excellent vows, destroy all of my obstacles. You be pleased, O be beloved of Vishnu. Thus is sung a hymn to the goddess covered in turmeric. I bow to the reliever of difficulties. You destroy self-deprecation and self-conceit. Along with the multitude of the armies of the gods, you are being worshipped along with those who are victorious. Give us boons. Thus is sung a hymn to the goddess of victory. I bow to the ever pure one. She is the beloved of Mahadev, Shiv, and she is always beloved of Vasudev, Vishnu. Uma loves this tree in the form of Bilva. I bow to you. That's a Bilvatra. Remember, it's the Bilva tree. It gives a fruit, a very hard outside and a very soft and sweet inside, like many of us. Om, thus is sung a hymn to the Bilva. I bow to Shiva, the Divine Mother. Now remember, Shiva is the Divine Lord, and Shiva is the feminine form. You fought with the multitude of Rakta Bijas facing you. In order to perform the work of Uma, always protect me. Remember, U means circumstance, and Ma is the mother, the measurement. Uma, she resides in every circumstance, in all of creation. A is Srishti, is creation. U is Sthiti, the circumstance of all beings. Ma is the termination, culmination, transformation. Om, thus is sung a hymn to the multitudes. I bow to she with red teeth, Raktadantika. Remember, she became Raktadantika when she ate the confusions born of agitated awareness. And then she became Raktadantika. Her teeth became as red as a pomegranate flower. Hara, Shiva, loves this tree, yesterday's grief, and all grief it destroys. Durga especially loves this, so make me eternally free from grief. And thus is sung a hymn to the freedom from grief. I bow to she who makes us free from grief. She is a shok. No shok can ever impose itself upon her. Shok is grief, and ashok has no grief. Upon this leaf from the tree of thought, the goddess sits, the beloved of Sachi, Indra's wife. For the purpose of my progress, please accept my worship and be pleased with me. Om, thus is sung a hymn to thoughts. I bow to she who moves in the paradigm of consciousness. This giving of wealth is beloved by Uma. It protects the life force of the perceivable universe and proves the validity of the supreme divinity. Please protect me always. Om, thus is sung a hymn to the giving of wealth. I bow to the great goddess of true wealth, Mahalakshmi, the great definition of life, of existence, the great goal of all being. Sarvas Adya Mahalakshmi, the first and foremost and most supreme in the manifested existence, Mahalakshmi. And now we have a second puja for the Nava Durgas, and these are 9 other Durgas. Om Chaturmukhi Jagadatring Hansaruram Purapradam Srishti Rupam Mahabhagam Brahmanitam Namamyam Om Ring Shring Brahmanye Namaha Vrisharurang Shubhang Shubham Trinetram Boradang Shibam Maheshwaring Namamadya Sristi Sangharakarinim Om Ring Sri Maheshwari Namaha Komaring Pitabasanam Mayuraporapakanam Shakti Astam Mahabhagam Namami Boradang Sada Om Ring Sring Komaryaki Namaha Shankachakra Gada Padma Darining Krishna Rupining Stiti Rupam Kagendrastam Vaishnaving Tandamamamyam Om Rim Shrim Vaishnavi Namah Varaharupining Deving Dangskraudrita Vasundaram Shubhadam Pitavasanam Baraking Tangdabamamyam Om Ring Sring Baraki Namaha Nrisingarupining Deving Dojadanaval Vardanam Shubham Shubhapradam Shubham Narsinging Dambamamyam Om Ring Sring Narsimye Namaha Indraning Gajas Kumbastam Sahasranaya Nojvalam Namami Boradam Diving Sarvadeva Namaskritam Ring Sring Indranyagi Namah Chamundang Chandamataning Chandamumbala Prashovitam Atahasa Samuditam Namamatyapni Bhutaye Om Ring Sring Chamundaye Namah Katyayaning Dashabujam Mahishasura Mardinim Prasana Boradang Daiving Boradang Tam Namamamyaham Om Ring Sring Katyayanyay Namaha Chandike Nava Durga Mahadeva Simramanurame Pujang Samastang Sangritya Rakshamang Tridasheshwari Om Ring Sring Chandikayaki Namaha Om Ring Sring Nava Durgayaki Namaha. Now let's talk about these new 9 Durgas, this new set that we have. She has 4 faces, the progenitress of the universe who rides upon a swan and grants boons. She is the form of creation of great parts. We bow to her, to Brahmani. So Brahmani is the energy of Brahma. She is Srishti Shakti, the energy of creation. Om Maya, increase, I bow to the creative energy. She rides upon a buffalo, shining radiantly. She is Shiva, with 3 eyes, and she grants boons. We bow to Maheshwari, the great seer of all, who is the cause of the dissolution of creation. Om Maya, increase, I bow to the great seer of all. Now remember in chapter 8 of the Chandi, where we asked, the Divine Mother divided herself into many forms and sent their Shaktis to come to do battle with the ego, with self-conceit and with self-deprecation and their armies, especially with the seeds of desire. Well, these are the goddesses, the forms of the 9 forms of Durga who appeared in chapter 8, whereas the previous worship of the 9 Durgas were the 9 forms of Durgas that appeared in the Devi Kavach, in the armor of the goddess. Kumari, the ever-pure one, is of a yellow color. She rides upon a peacock with energy in her hands of great parts. I bow to she who always grants boons. Om Maya, increase, I bow to the ever-pure one. She holds the conch shell, discus, club, and lotus as the intrinsic nature of Krishna. She is the form of circumstances. Situated with the king of swords, she is Vaishnavi, the energy pervading all existence. We bow to her. O Maya, increase, I bow to the energy pervading all existence. She is the goddess who appears as a boar. Her great teeth are beautiful. She is the giver of purity, of yellow color. We bow to her, to Varahi, the boar of sacrifice. And she's often called Yagyavarahi because she presides over the yagya, and she preserves the knowledge of the yagya, and she preserves the knowledge of the Vedas. She saved the earth. She saved the earth when Hiranyaksh hid away the earth underneath the waters of the ocean. Then Varaha came in the form of Vishnu's avatar and went and saved the earth. And Varahi was his Shakti. And she manifested to save the earth, to save the knowledge, and to save the yagya. So she's called the boar of sacrifice. So she stands for how to come into union through sacrificing our own individual, her own selfishness, in order to preserve others. She is the goddess who appears as the man lion, Narsingh, the reflection of the forces of duality and animalism. She shines and gives forth the radiance of her shine. We bow to Narsimhi, the man lion or human lion of courage. She's got this compelling necessity, this courageous fortitude to persevere in any circumstance. She sticks to it. She's not the one who digs many shallow wells. She's the opposite. She has perseverance and courageous fortitude. Om Maya, increase, I bow to Narasimhi, the man lion of courage. Indrani, the energy of the rule of the pure, sits upon the shoulders of an elephant with 1,000 eyes shining. I bow to the goddess who gives boons and to whom all the gods also bow as well. Om Maya, increase, I bow to Indrani, the energy of the rule of the pure, the slayer of passion and meanness, who churns passion, shines forth with a garland of skulls. She emits a loud laugh. I bow to the soul who manifests in existence. Om Maya, increase, I bow to the slayer of passion and meanness. The ever-pure one has 10 arms, the slayer of the great ego. She is the goddess with the pleased face. We bow to her, to the giver of boons. Om Maya, increase, I bow to the ever-pure one. You who tear apart thoughts and the other 9 Durgas are the beauty of Shiva. Please accept this all-encompassing worship and protect me, O Supreme, among the 3 qualities. Om Maya, increase, I bow to she who tears apart thoughts. Om Maya, increase, I bow to the 9 forms of Durga. So we had 9 forms of Durga, 9 containers of divinity, and now another 9 forms of Durga. We've established the outlines of our yantra. And now within the yantra, in the center of the yantra, we are going to establish another yantra. So what is happening here in our roadmap is we are creating this yantra, this roadmap in flowers, which points to a yantra, a roadmap, maybe engraved in silver, which points to another yantra, which is worn on our chest, which points to another yantra, which is in the bottom of the Havan Kund, where the fire burns. And now this yantra is a tool. The tool by which we remember the map of how we guide our consciousness step by step into the bindu, where we move into non-duality. So let's begin the worship of the yantra. You'll find a copy of this yantra on our website under the Cosmic Puja classes. And in our first worship of the yantra, there are going to be 30 points on the yantra. Let's recite the Sanskrit. Shobha yasyasya devasya vigraho yantra kalpana vina yantrena che puja devata na prasidati. Yantra mantra madhyam prakur devata mantra rupini yantrena pujito deva sakasana prasidati sarvashamapi mantranam yantra puja prashashyate. Do you know what? I'm going to show you on my yantra. Can you? Yes. I hope you can see this. I can't. Sorry. This is an engraved yantra. You can look at the yantra on our website or on the back of the Shiva Puja books. The advanced Shiva Puja books have a clear depiction as well. Now, engraved on this silver plate are the lines and angles which show the Sri Chakra of Chandi. And the mantras which introduce the worship of the yantra say, we contemplate the form of the yantra that depicts the radiance of the gods. Without using the yantra in the worship of consciousness, the gods are not as pleased. The yantra conveys the objective meaning of the mantra, while the deity is the form of the mantra. By worshipping the deity by means of the yantra, the deity is completely satisfied. To attain all the bliss of the mantra, the worship of the yantra is highly recommended. Now watch as we sing these mantras. Tatahastandil yadmadyetu hasagarbo trikonakam Shadkonanta bekirvritam Tatastadala pankajam Buparanta bekir vidwan Vilikyed yantramutabam Om heng ring kling chamunda gibiche. Well, we hope you saw that. And if not, you'll have to come to the Devi Mandir and see it close up, because this is a very important portion of our worship. Let's show you how we worship the deities that sit on the lines and angles. Om Mukandaya Namo, Om Ishanaya Namo, Om Purandaraya Namo, Om Brahmane Namo, Om Vaivasvataya Namo, Om Indraveda Namo, Om Darashakta Namo, Om Kurmaya Namo, Om Nantaya Namo, Om Prithivya Namo, Om Shira Samudraya Namo, Om Shweta Dipaya Namo, Om Kalpa Brikshaya Namo, Mani Vedikaya Namo, Ratna Singhasanaya Namo. Now the petals. Om Dharmaya Namo, Om Gyanaya Namo, Om Vairagyaya Namo, Om Ishwargyaya Namo, Om Adharmaya Namo, Agyanaya Namo, Avaragyaya Namo, Om Ishwargyaya Namo, Om Padmaya Namo, Om Anantaya Namo, Om Ang Surya Mandalaya Daskalatmani Namo, Om Soma Mandalaya Dwadashkalatmani Namo, Om Mani Mandalaya Sharaskalatmani Namo, Om Sang Satvaya Namo, Om Rang Rajasay Namo, Om Tam Tamasay Namo, Om Angatmani Namo, Om Angandratmani Namo, Om Pam Paramatmani Namo, Om Ring Gyanatmani Namo. And that is the yantra. Do you know, when I established the deities on the yantra, I place the yantra on the altar, and then we will worship the Sarva Bhadra Mandala Devata, all the gods and goddesses of the Bhadra Mandala, the excellent circle of gods and goddesses which surround the Devi. Let's read these mantras and show what this roadmap is all about. In the center of the place of worship is the single point that contains Ha and Sa, Shiva and Shakti without distinction. Thereafter comes the three-cornered equilateral triangle, then 6 angles, outside of which is a circle, followed by 8 lotus petals. The 4 doors are outside, and in this way the wise will draw the most excellent yantra. Om, we meditate upon the king of yantras. We contemplate the greatest yantra. May that yantra grant us increase. Om, we meditate upon the highest supreme divinity. We contemplate the highest principle. May that supreme divinity grant us increase. Now, I want to remind you that a Sri Yantra, a Sri Chakra Yantra, is defined as Ashtapad and Shaktadal and Char Darwaza. There are 4 doors, there are 8 lotus points, and there are at least 6 angles, 6 equilateral triangles. It's the definition of a Sri Chakra Yantra. Now, this is different from the Meru Sri Chakra, which has 36 triangles and 3 circles and so many other deities. That is a different system of worship. We're using the Chandi Sri Yantra. Now, Mukunda, I bow to the giver of liberation, and I bow to the ruler of all, and I bow to the giver of completeness, are on the 3 lines. The 3 lines to the east. And Brahmane, I bow to the creative consciousness, I bow to the universal radiance, and I bow to the ruler of devotion, are on the 3 lines to the north. And I bow to devotion, we're going in the corners of the 4 doors. I bow to the primal energy that sustains the existence. I bow to the tortoise that supports creation. I bow to infinity personified as a 1,000-hooded snake who stands upon the tortoise holding aloft the world. So here Ananta is the snake who is holding aloft the world. Prithivya, I bow to the earth, I bow to the milk ocean, or the ocean of nectar, the infinite expanse of existence from which all is manifested. Now, look where we've come. We've got this tortoise holding aloft the earth, who's sitting on the snake of infinity, who's got. Now we go to the earth, and on the earth there's this ocean of milk. Ocean of pure consciousness. And in the ocean there's a Shweta Deep. There's this island of purity which is in the ocean. And on the island of purity there's a palace of gems which is on the island, which is the home of the Divine Mother. And in the courtyard of the Palace of Gems, there is a tree of fulfillment which satisfies all desires growing in the palace courtyard. So here we went from a snake that's holding up the earth, to the ocean of consciousness, to the island of purity, to the Palace of Gems, to the tree of fulfillment that's in the courtyard of the palace. And I bow to the altar containing the gems of wisdom, which is right next to the tree. This is really a fun meditation. This is a roadmap. Now, sitting on that altar is a throne of jewels. So I bow to the throne of the jewel. And then there are 8 points, that's where the goddess sits. So then there are 8 points of 8 lotus petals. I bow to wisdom, and I bow to detachment. I bow to the imperishable qualities, and I bow to I bow to Dharma, the way of truth and harmony. I bow to wisdom, to detachment, and to the imperishable qualities. Those are the 4 lotuses on the upper side. And opposite those 4 lotuses, I bow to disharmony, I bow to ignorance, I bow to attachment, and I bow to the transient. These surround the circle of creation. Then I bow to Ananta, the infinite, and to the Padma, to the lotus. And we bow to the 12 aspects of the realm of the sun. Tapini, Tapini, Dumra, Marichi, Jwalini, Ruchi, Sudumra, Bogda, Bishwa, Bodhini, Dharini, Kshama, containing heat, emanating heat, smoke, ray producing, burning, lustrous, purple or smoky red, granting enjoyment, universal, which makes known, productive of consciousness, which supports, which forgives. And these are the 3 points on the Ma, on the inner equilateral triangle, the inner triangle. We bow to the 16 aspects of the realm of the moon: Amrita, Pranada, Pusha, Tushti, Pushti, Rati, Driti, Sashini, Chandrika, Kanti, Jyotsna, Sri, Priti, Ongada, Purna, Purnamrita. Nectar, which sustains life, which supports, satisfying, nourishing, playful, constant, unfailing, producer of joy. Beauty, enhanced by love. Light, grantor of prosperity. Affectionate, purifying the body. Complete and full of bliss. Ma, we bow to the 10 aspects of the realm of the fire. Dhumra, Archi, Jwalini, Sukshma, Jwalini, Svispulingini, Susri, Shushrurupa, Kapila, Habya Kabya Baha. Smoky red, flaming, shining, subtle, burning, sparkling, beautiful, well-formed, tawny, the messenger to gods and ancestors. doors. And then I bow to Samsattva, to activity, execution, light, knowledge, and being, and that's in the lower left-hand corner. I bow to Rajas, desire, desire, inspiration, becoming. I bow to Tamas, wisdom, to the darkness that exposes the light and to rest. I bow to the soul. I bow to the innermost soul. And I bow to the universal soul. And I bow to the soul of infinite wisdom in the center. And that's the Bindu. And that's the roadmap. Now let's look how we make the journey. Here we are crossing that ocean of infinite existence. And we are protected on the north side by the giver of liberation and the ruler of all and the giver of completeness. On the east side, we're protected by the creative consciousness, the universal radiance, and the ruler of devotion. Excuse me, the east side is first and the north side is second. So on the east side, we have the giver of liberation and the ruler of all and the giver of completeness. And on the north side, we have the creative consciousness, the universal radiance, and the ruler of devotion. And then on the all four doors, there are, on either side of each door, we have the primal energy, the tortoise that supports creation, infinity, the snake that of all energy that supports the earth. We have the earth, and now make the journey on the earth. There's this ocean of consciousness, the ocean of nectar, and in the ocean there's this island of purity, and on the island of purity is a palace of gems. In the palace courtyard there's the tree of fulfillment, and next to the tree there's this altar of the gems of wisdom, and on the altar there's the throne of the jewel, and that's where our mother sits. We're preparing an asan. The yantra is an asan upon which mother will sit. Guide your consciousness, guide your awareness into the presence of the mother. And now we are surrounded by the Dharma, Gyan, and Vairagya, and Aishwarya, the way of truth and harmony, the ideals of perfection, that's Dharma, wisdom, detachment, and the imperishable qualities. All the divine qualities of creation are being expressed in bringing us up, and the negative qualities are bringing us down: disharmony, ignorance, attachment, and transient. And here in the circle of creation, our goal is to create a harmony and a balance between the forces of divinity and the forces of worldliness. And that's what this yantra is explaining to us. We will always be confronted if we can achieve the equilibrium of the equilateral triangle in the center. O, U, Ma, Om. We put them into perfect harmony and perfect balance, just like the Om in the center. Then creation becomes for us a magnificent expression of the love of God. That's just what it is for us. We perceive everything, every circumstance from the equilibrium of Udas, the servant of circumstance. We only see and cease to react. So we have Ma, the sun and the moon and the fire are the three eyes of consciousness. Then we are surrounded by Sattva, Raja, and Tama. The three gunas are in perfect harmony. And now we have the Atma, the soul, the Antaratma, the innermost soul, and the Paramatma, the supreme soul. All are in harmony. And now the soul of infinite wisdom, the Gyanatma, that perceives equilibrium and harmony and infinite wisdom in every circumstance. And this is the asan that we have prepared upon which the mother will sit. Do we have any questions about the meaning of the yantra?
Swamiji, the question about the protectors, the three lines
Yes.
in the north and the east.
Yes.
Why are they in the north and the east, and why not in the south and the west?
Because in the rising sun comes from the east, and that brings the new energies to us. And the Adhara Shakti comes from the north, the polar energies which pull us apart. The Rahu and the Ketu, they pull us, the north and south poles pull us apart. On the other two sides are the mantra of the Divine Mother, Om Aing Ring Kling Chamundari Biche. And therefore, we are protected by Mother's mantra on the south and on the west, and on the north and on the east, we are protected by the devas, the shining ones. The div means to shine. So the shining ones, the gods are on the north and on the east, and on the west and the south is the mantra of the Divine Mother. And that protects our inner sanctum. So we've created this yantra of flowers, and actually, if you want to get more technical about it, on the earth there's a place called Devi Mandir. And Devi Mandir is designed as a yantra. The whole design and layout of Devi Mandir is a yantra which brings everyone to the temple, which is another yantra, a little smaller. And inside the mandir of the Devi Mandir, there's an altar, which is another yantra which brings our focus to a smaller area. And upon the altar of the Devi Mandir is the cosmic puja, which is the expression of another yantra designed in flowers, which guides our attention to something even smaller. The yantra of perfection, which we just worshipped. And we're going to take that yantra of perfection and we're going to establish it here on our bodies and put it inside the Antar Yantra. And that yantra will be even more focused, more cloistered, till we get smaller and smaller, shukshma, shukshmadi shukshma, until that essence is of the form of a anu, one atom. And then we'll have onumati, the feeling of the subtle feeling that's inside, the feeling of an atom. And that feeling of an atom will get even more small and more small until it becomes merged with the bindu. And then it becomes humongous. It becomes so great. There is no way to define the limits of me. Shivo aham. Aham brahmashmi. And that's how the yantras work. They bring us from the macrocosm into the microcosm, and then back outside. The roadmap, step by step, how do we come inside, get more subtle, more quiet, more still, more empowered to perceive the subtle essence. A very valuable tool. A yantra is a tool. A very valuable tool in the tool chest of a worshipper of the divine. Any other questions?
Swamiji, when we do the worship of the yantra, do we take the yantra in our hands or do we keep it on the plate?
I take it in my hands and bring it as close to me as I possibly can. And I point to every line and every angle so that as I worship the yantra, I become very intimate with it. I can feel, I can see, I know it. It's my yantra. And I'll tell you an analogy. When some years ago we were touring the world in a caravan of cars, and I had a book of maps. And after a while of driving, my map book was so tattered and so torn and so creased and crumpled. I knew every one of those maps so intimately, I could be driving with one hand and flip my book open to the right page, so I would come up with the right map for the right area in which we were traveling. And it's true, you all know yourself. The first time you came to the Devi Mandir, you may have performed a map quest or printed out the directions, and you looked at the directions, you looked at the map, you looked at the street sign, you looked at the monuments and the architecture along the way, and you said, okay, it says to turn here and to go 3 miles and to turn there. And after a few trips to the Devi Mandir, you put away the directions and you recognize the monument. You recognize the street sign, and you turned automatically. And after some time, you could almost put your car on automatic pilot. The car knew the way. You didn't even think about it anymore. There was not even the slightest hesitation. Oh yes, the car knows to turn. The same thing is going to happen in the study of this map. As we become intimate and familiar with our map, we know the way. The one who knows the way can make the journey. That's a famous shloka from Rig Veda. Ask the one who knows the way, because he has been there before. And that's what the yantra will do. It'll study the map. Before you make any journey, you study the map. Then you go efficiently. This is the map. How do we make our consciousness more subtle, more subtle, more subtle, until we sit in stillness? Any other questions?
Now, people who are looking for this type of yantra, is it easy to find?
No. This kind of yantra, I know a few people who make these yantras.
Yes.
They're made in a special bhav, in a special way. The way to start worshipping the yantra is to take a clean plate and a piece of incense, grind some sandalwood into a paste. With the bottom side of the incense, dip it into the sandal paste and draw the yantra on a plate. I wouldn't recommend to anyone to prepare a yantra in silver or gold or in any other metal before they know how to draw it by hand themselves, because it'll become an object of art rather than an object of worship. And I've been to many people's homes and they've shown me many, many yantra pictures on the walls. And I'm overwhelmed at the display, because very few people know the meaning of those yantras, nor do they know the mantras which correspond to the yantras, nor can they tell me what it is. They become objects of art. And that becomes an appendage of ego, to possess rather than to understand. So my recommendation to anyone who wants to start worshipping with the yantra is to draw the yantra with sandal paste on a clean plate every day as part of your puja. Now, we'll have to have a special class on how to draw that. If you want to help organize it, people can come to the Devi Mandir. At some point in time, you will want to take initiation in yantra as you do in mantra. Yantra, mantra, and tantra are given by the guru. Without a guru, it's not possible to move forward. But to begin, draw the yantra with sandal paste on a plate and worship the drawn inscription with the same mantras and the same procedures. When you're ready for an engraved yantra, you can contact us by email and we will tell you some sources where you can get them. Any other questions? Om Sang Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.